Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. Man, the brown skin tone and this tinge of white hair and the lighting really just does something to the tone of my face. It's insane. I'm currently also trying not to use a lot of shower water, seeing as though it's completely toxic, and we measured it in parts per million of PFAS the other day. Or no, that's not a thing of iron and arsenic and stuff. But regardless, my name is Albert. This is Vlogs About Nothing. This is the picture that the crazy ex-girlfriend's bestie gave me. The one that got used as an excuse while I babysat her son and she spent an entire weekend at the Angel Fire Resort snugging on up with one of her many partners that she was cheating me on with. Wait, did I just say all of that out loud? It's hung up in spite. Plus, it's a really cool picture, so yeah, there, take that to my stalker out there, who's the only one that ever takes offense to anything that I really say. Anyways, I hope that you guys are doing really good. Again, I'm a little concerned with the tone of my face right now. Literally the shade, not what's coming out of my mouth, but regardless, I want to talk about how Lil Wayne got snubbed. Okay, so, let it be known, right, that, I've always been a fan of Jay-Z, Rockefeller Nation, Dame Dash. I mean, I was the same guy, born in 87, who was already buying the life and times of Sean Carter before it was a thing, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, I'm a fan of hip-hop. Like, Jay-Z was unavoidable, you feel me? That's like that East Coast, New York City type of vibe. Like, it was unavoidable. But regardless, and I say that because we live in an era where, I feel weak rappers are trying to claim the throne. I mean, since the fallout of, unfortunately, the great hip-hop legends, Diddy. Anyways, what did I say? Minus Pac and Biggie, you feel me? Like, notably great lyricists. I grew up with Lil Wayne. I grew up with the Hot Boys. I grew up with Master P. I grew up with No Limit. Again, now, on my side of the country, where the West Coast was lagging, the South straight took that. You feel me? Like, Nappy Roots, Bubba Sparks, there's so much Southern influence in, the kind of music that I like, and I never forget that because, again, I was one of 10 people listening to Lil Wayne Get Off the Corner, right? Or The Block is Hot, or, any of the other, low-key, low-budget CDs that Cash Money or No Limit did. You feel me? I don't know. I just can't tell you to the extent of which I'm, a New Orleans, Weezy, Cash Money, No Limit, fanatic. Again, they've been getting my money for well over 26 years, and that's no joke, and I've happily done it. I've supported artists like Master P and True Crime and Silk the Shocker and C Merc and even before Mystical got weird. I mean, there was a lot of things that No Limit did, you feel me, that was groundbreaking. The Ice Cream Man. I mean, Master P is one sick dude, Joe. And what I don't like is how Jay-Z has taken it upon himself to host the Super Bowl halftime shows on behalf of his company. And, he snubbed Weezy this year, straight. Just instead invited Kendrick Lamar, who is probably the most overrated entertainer of our time. Look, Lamar had bars. I'm West Coast. I'm not anti-Kendrick Lamar. I like Kendrick Lamar 14 years ago. You know what I mean? When he was hot and new and fresh and had a different rhyme scheme and didn't sell out to pop and wasn't on Taylor Swift singles. No offense, because he just made Taylor Swift's song bad when actually that song is really good. I'm a T Swift fan. But regardless, what I'm saying is that, nobody wanted to see Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl show, right? I mean, what is this? Is this, supposed to be, Drake Day is over? I mean, everyone gets it. That stupid song that, got 5 minutes of airplay that everyone knows now by Kendrick Lamar when, again, it has been argued and it has been pointed out that Drake has a catalog of hits, but, there's this one song that came out this year that made insane allegations with no fruit to bear on any of that, not even to the point to where, your Diddy's of the world, did in fact get shook down by Uncle Sam recently, right? But we've yet to see any of that transpire within the Drake community or anything at all like that. And it's Drake's been putting out bangers for years. But what I'm saying is that Weezy getting snubbed at this year's halftime show because it's being hosted in New Orleans is a slap in the face. I'm not the only person that feels this way. The people that I just mentioned, Juvenile, Lil Wayne, Birdman even, you feel me? Like, yeah, on some straight, keeping it in the fam kind of stuff, even though they don't get along very well, and Birdman should have released Weezy out of his contract years ago, but we can forget that drama because now he's on Weezy's side when it comes to it, and that's how it should be. So is Master P. Again, like, can we all keep in mind that Cash Money Records and No Limit Records peacefully coexisted because they were from the same area for decades? And that, like, they continue to represent younger artists and speak on their behalf, especially as it concerns posers being stuck in the middle of halftime shows. And, I'm not about it because obviously Lamar's going to try to reach out to Weezy and get some type of feature, some type of collab. But does Lamar deserve that? Because Weezy's a legend. Weezy's a freaking legend. I have been listening to Lil Weezy since, like, we're peers, and I've been listening to him since the mid-90s. Like, since he was 13, I've been around 13 listening to Lil Weezy. Again, and I was able to get into Cash Money and stuff, right, because I started out as a No Limit boy. And again, it was interesting because I grew up in an era where my two main record labels were, like, clearly in a competitive state, but neither one ever blasted on the other one. Artists were cool with each other. It was a real good vibe because Master P's a good person. Percy Miller, like, represents a lot of what's good in the rap game as well as the New Orleans community. And that speaks throughout the entire country. So, like, until Kendrick Lamar is worth $1 billion and decides to be a philanthropist for 2 decades, plus selling CDs, LPs out the trunk in the hood, you feel me? Like, that's really, again, Lamar's got his, background, his straight up credentials, and that's fine, that's cool. Lots of people listen to the dude, he's got a good fan base, that's fine. He's a career musician. I think that's really good. Any of us that are in a situation where we can make a career out of what we love, and do really well at it, I think is a good thing, but, like, again, to be forced to listen to these artists that nobody's listening. Nobody has on the newest Kendrick Lamar LP right now on stream, or, dare I say, some millennial or boomer out there bumping a CD of Kendrick Lamar in their car while they're driving around. Well, I dare say that all of us who've grown up with hip-hop, there are many of us out there still in our old hoopties jamming No Limit Records, make them say, Cash Money Records, back that thing up, you feel me, like, all that, The Block is Hot, Fireman, like, again, I have been a fan for decades, so I'm not the one, you know what I mean, like, but whatever, Jay-Z's gonna do what Jay-Z does, because that's who Jay-Z is, but again, like, he hasn't really put out anything good since the year 2000 either. And I don't blame him. He's a businessman. That's fine. Anything pre-2K, Jay-Z is a lyricist as well. He's got a different rhyme scheme. I'm about it. He's got different beats. Like, I just feel uncomfortable with the fact that he employed a federal, tattletale. I know it's all speculation, right? But is it, though? It's not, because the woman who was in charge of his companies was actually busted for some stuff, right? And you all know when that happens, Uncle Sam ends up being not just your best friend, but also a parent. So, yeah, scary stuff. But nonetheless, like, not what hip-hop's about. I ain't never heard no type of any work coming out from Cash Money, No Limit, the South, New Orleans. Like, you don't hear these stories. You don't hear stories about Master P putting on his books a girl who, made a deal with some judge 20 years ago to get off on some charges because of what she did in her life. You feel me? Like, that's that happens in Rockefeller. You feel me? And it's paid off for him. He's one of the wealthiest people in the world. I mean, he's a part of a select group of just a few thousand people that have way more than you and I will ever have combined times 10 plus 100. We don't even begin to understand the level of wealth that these people have, including Jay-Z. So, make better decisions, like force good artists down our throats. Please don't make me listen to Not Like Us during the halftime show at the Super Bowl. I mean, do you know, what kind of beef you're, what are you trying to start here? Like, are you trying to divide the African American and hip hop community all at once while just trying to enjoy some hot wings over, whoever's going to win the game? And this time it's even going to be even higher stakes because gambling is legal. You're openly sort of causing mayhem by not inviting the king of New Orleans. You feel me? Like, holy potatoes. Lil Wayne is a household name. Just because I was one of only 4 people listening to him in the mid-90s does not mean that by now he is not a straight household name. You feel me? So, I don't know. Everyone knows a Lil Wayne song. Does anyone know a Kendrick Lamar song? Anyways, I hope that you guys ever... And I know, right? These people don't even get paid to perform at the halftime show, which is even more saddening in that, that's Weezy's town, yo. It's cash money. It's no limit. This is... You, my friend, are being invited into their hood. It is not, Lil Wayne and Birdman and Master P aren't hitting up Jay-Z for, permission to land in New Orleans to play. I mean, it's dude, you're in my hood, bro. That's like me being in charge of a huge venue and there's a Super Bowl in New York and I'm a snub Jay. You feel me? I'm gonna do that. I'd much rather give it to St. John anyway, but I'm just saying, as far as New York artists go, I'd be like, nah, we're cool. We're gonna get St. John instead. You feel me? Although, even in this example, it's not a good one because St. John is still way better than Kendrick Lamar. And, ooh, did I say it? I did. But that's just, again, because Kendrick Lamar appears to be the modern-day mainstream hip-hop poster boy troll that does no good songs and just wants to start beef with other artists from other countries. You guys understand that Drake's not even from here? He's from Canada. So, us making a whole big deal out of some Canadian, right, really speaks volumes out of, what we got coming out on our end from hip-hop work. I mean, they got, all the streaming and selling records in the world, and we have one song that did okay for this year. And even in that, it was noted, and it should be, talked about how those streams, many tens of millions of them, could in fact have been botted. So, there's also that, but who wouldn't have guessed that? Because I never asked to listen to Kendrick Lamar. I never asked for him to show up on my feed. I was never really interested in what he had to say about Drake, and it's really overkill to rent out an entire arena on the West Coast just, again, to divide the black community as well as the hip-hop community more than it already is, when you guys should be working together. You feel me? But, again, that's just my opinion. I hope that you guys have a really good night, and thanks for watching my channel. Bye.